And now, here with another designated podcast are Teddy and JJ.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Designated Riders Podcast. Almost forgot the name of it. JJ here.
Teddy Allen. Should have spit out my gum. I'll do that
Yeah,
right now.
I know. It got you on a bad mode. Kind of a baseball-centric podcast for us because
Juicy fruit?
it's baseball. I am pro-juicy fruit.
Oh, that's good.
And Double Bubble was the other one.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mama grew up with the juicy fruit.
Can we all agree that the baseball card gum was...
Hideous.
Yeah, it was like the cardboard it was basically printed on.
It tastes like pink cardboard.
Oh, it's awful.
When Mama would either give me the, do you want some juicy fruit? Or I would hear the Tic Tacs coming out of her purse. Daddy was wrapping up his sermon every time. That's what I think.
Well, they know.
Right.
Parents just know.
They know.
All right, we've gone again
Baseball.
as we do this. Baseball, the division round is just now beginning. So we've gotten through all the other one-game wild card and so on. Teams to like, Teddy. Teams to not like.
Well, the Brewers to me are fascinating just because they're playing so well, and they've. I didn't think they'd be here at the end of the year. We may have had this discussion at the first of the year, where we thought maybe the Brewers could sneak in somewhere this year, but them. And then I'm pulling for Ben's Red Sox. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, I think a huge question mark because of the pitching. I mean, Sale, there's 8 miles an hour gone from his fastball, and David Price is 0-8 in the postseason, and that's your 1-2. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, a team that amazingly is underneath the radar is the team that won it last year, at least to me. The Astros are... I mean, they're going to trot out Garrett Cole, Verlander, and Keuchel. And, oh, by the way, they still got Morton Salt and McCullers.
Morton Salt. Yeah,
who's their fifth guy.
And that's what you want in the postseason, JJ. It's, you had this discussion before. It's nothing like baseball postseason. It doesn't compare, in my opinion, to any of the other postseason.
No, not close.
Deals, and if you got three big arms, you can keep trotting out there. Unless it's the 1960 World Series where somebody's winning 11-10, Pirates, Yankees every game, then pitching's where it's at. I'd like to see the Astros. What about the Astros back to back? That would be something.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. Do you give any National League chance a team a chance against any American League team?
Maybe the Dodgers.
Okay, because they can trot
Kershaw
out there who's an average pitcher in the postseason.
In the postseason, it's just like you said about David Price, which is that an anomaly when you're good and you go, or is it just a head scratcher? I got to look up anomaly.
Yeah,
that's another one. I don't think that's something that you think one and it would be another.
Okay,
but anyway, whatever that word is, it's a head scratcher.
Yeah, it is. But it doesn't necessarily translate. Greg Maddux wasn't great in the postseason either.
Correct.
Some guys are. Whitey Ford was, but. I don't throw a Whitey Ford reference here on this podcast.
Well, we already mentioned the 60 World Series, so thematically. Seemed appropriate. But but if I'm an opposing hitter, I don't want to see Verlander, Kershaw out there, of course, on the bump in October.
But even if the Dodgers do go all the way and get to the World Series, I mean, I think they're going to be underdog against the Yankees. They'll be underdog against the Red Sox. Mm-hmm. I mean, they'll be underdog against the Astros. I think the American League is obviously better this year, and there's no National League team I really like. I would have thought the Cubs, but they poured in 2 runs in 22 innings, and they're out.
Braves.
My Braves they don't have all the pieces.
But they've given you a wonderful summer. They've given you a great summer.
No, it's a 162 game ride. I mean, it's just you just don't want it to be over. No. But it's just so great to. They live with you for 6 months.
You just want to send them something.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it.
And I appreciate this, but it's almost like anticlimactic because
it's all gravy for you.
Yeah, I mean, if I expect them to be good, I'll be okay. What took you so long? But after this joy ride they've been on, it's all gravy. Yeah. All gravy. But again, I mean, I think all the American League teams have really good chances. In the National League, it's just kind of, but that makes it competitive. Like you mentioned, the Brewers, interesting. The Rockies can all hit.
So they're interesting.
The Braves
and
Dodgers.
From top to bottom, they can, right?
Yeah, the Braves and Dodgers in the other way. So we'll see.
Speaking of gravy, Sunday, I bought last night a pot roast. I'm going to put it in the crock pot.
Okay.
To eat it Sunday. Where are you on pot roast, and where are you on gravy?
Well, I'm not as gravy-centric as you are.
Okay.
That's the obvious thing. The pot roast situation... I mean, that's the deal where you'll cook it for like 8 hours or something. See, I can't do that. I can't do that.
You can't. It's the waiting, or
it's just an hour and a half. I want it to be like the Grinch when he was carving the roast beast.
Okay.
How it was nice, even slices came out. That's
Right.
exactly how I want my
Okay.
roast to be.
Yeah.
That's exact. I can't describe it any better than
No, I
that.
understand. And a lot of people missed the roast beast several times that they watched it.
Yeah.
They finally heard it. I see gravy. I know that the pot roast is down in there, and then I'll just go in
Yeah, see,
and pull
just-
something off
right.
and just keep pulling out them little clumps. I love the little clumps,
I understand that.
but I respect your position.
Yeah, and I respect yours. I don't see you as being some kind of communist for feeling this way.
No, it didn't make me a bad person.
It's what makes the world go round.
Right,
And-
but you want a dry pot roast sitting on a nice platter and then start carving your pieces off of it.
Yep.
Right.
And really, like the Grinch, if
Right.
it takes up the entire plate, that's a good thing for me.
Okay.
That's exactly. That's the visual I want you
I-
and the adoring public listening right now
right.
to understand.
And I'm just going in there like a treasure hunt. I know
Yeah.
it's in there, and I'm going to come out with some. If you want to come to the house and eat Sunday, fine, but it's going to
Yeah.
be clumpy. It's going to be a little.
I know that going in.
I'm maybe too clumpy for you. Okay.
All right, Tech Bulldogs. You talked about this in the Daily Happen during the week. What an exciting tilt that was. Huh?
It was. It was a 3-diaper game for me, and it went down to the last thing. I mean, I like the team, and I went to school there, and I know that some people. So you want people, to do well.
Yeah.
I don't lose a night's sleep, but it made the ride home a lot better knowing that your friends won the game. And this kid made Amik Robertson is just such a joy to watch at cornerback, and he just came off the edge, and all year long he's come close to blocking one, and he blocked it with time to spare.
Yeah.
So Tech wins the game 29-27. It was Mean Joe Green night. They unveiled
Yeah. That's when I thought Tech had no chance. When they start trotting out old guys or people in wheelchairs,
Yeah.
usually going to be a problem.
Walt Garrison was there.
Okay.
Walt Garrison, Mel Blunt, Franco Harris. And Mean Joe Green at halftime, I ran down the hall to his facility, and I'm coming back, and here comes Mean Joe Green. He's got his NFL Gold Hall of Fame jacket on.
Did he have a little jersey over
He
his
did-
shoulder?
he did not.
He didn't throw it to you?
But there were Cokes everywhere,
Okay.
bottles of Cokes.
There we
everywhere.
go.
And everybody got a T-shirt that said NT on the front, 75 on the back. But I said, hey, I'm happy for you, Mr. Green. This is great for you. And he shook my hand. And Benny Thornell.
Did he give it back?
Right. It was a friend of his from Pittsburgh Steelers days who was with us. And Benny said he's got a big hand, don't he? And it's like putting it in a frying pan. I had no idea. And I'm scared as he reached for my hand. I could tell he was a little nervous, like he didn't want to hurt me.
Yeah.
Huge hands, man. But anyway, Tech wins a big game. The North Texas picked to win the league. It was a record crowd over there for them, 30,000 something. And then Tech Saturday night, if you're listening to this before Saturday night, come to Joe A. Stadium and they play UAB. It's always a good game. They beat Tech by blocking Tech's punt on the last play of the game.
Yeah.
Last year made for a long ride home from Birmingham. But Tech, I think that Skip Holtz has his best team in 6 years. Not at every position. Definitely not at every position. But the deepest team he's had, probably overall the most talented team. They have a chance to have a special year. This would aggravate you with the Loyola Flyers or the Notre Damers or whoever. If this piece of people are playing well today and then this other piece is playing bad and then they swap it the next quarter and nobody can all. If they were to all play football at the same time,
Yeah.
it'd really
pretty
it'd
good.
be a joyous occasion.
Speaking of joyous occasions, Texas State Fair going on, which means OU Texas is this weekend. Suddenly has a little luster to it because both teams are ranked, and that's the old Texas State Fair and the fried whatever it is that you want fried. They can have it out
Fried
there.
Milky Way and everything.
Yeah, Snickers,
Right.
all that. I've been to that game actually twice. It's interesting, but it just seems like that's one of those games that if when both teams are good and it's a meaningful game, that's good for college football.
It's good for college football, just like when people don't like LSU or don't like Notre Dame, I respect all that. But football in our state is better if LSU is good. Football, college, national spectrum better if the Gold Domers are good. And yeah, Texas, I didn't expect them to be doing what they're doing right now. So good for them. And the kid who quarterbacks for Oklahoma is phenomenal.
And he gets smaller every week.
He's tiny.
Yeah. I always wonder if the coach ever gets on to him, if he doesn't say, "Hey, coach, you want to compare bank accounts real quick?"
Right, because I can. How much has he got to make? $4 million? Is
Yeah.
it more than that?
Right.
Okay, baseball player, the kid is. And we share a UT-OU experience in that we went to Six Flags one morning before a Texas OU game, and we had to stop and buy you a belt. Do you recall that? Going
Yes,
into the mall.
I do. That was the day game. That night, Tech was playing Texas Arlington, and we had to pull off to the side of the road because I didn't have a belt.
And you just needed one. You barely made it through the first game without your belt.
And ever since then,
you were less of a man without it. You said, "I've got to get a belt."
Right.
Right.
I mean, I remember turning left into that primary. Exactly. Yeah.
And I didn't fully understand, but I said, okay, the man is being sincere.
Yeah.
He's not the same guy I know. And then after you got your belt, you're fine. It took you a minute to pick it out.
Oh, the first one I saw.
It didn't matter. A cardboard belt. I'll take that.
No, that's right.
And
that
we
was
went
81 or 82. Is Tech at UTA.
Was that the Arlington game where there were locusts all over the field? That was that night?
Yes, sure.
That was an interesting day. Did we ride the Six Flags roller coasters early that morning? That
Texas Giant.
Yeah. Boy, it was a jam. And Judge Roy Scream.
Judge Roy Scream.
Boy, it was an action-packed day.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
All right. That's going to do it for the podcast. Thanks for listening to Designated Riders. Be sure and check out our website. Of course, you know that because you're already here, but still all kind of stuff going on. And we'll holler at you next time.
Yep. Tell your friend. See ya.